I edited this video and countless other videos and learned this TikTok formula that I developed by working with big creators for a year since I started video editing because of my skills. And through it, I started to notice something, a pattern to which content can go viral. And if I were to post my first ever video, I would follow this step-by-step blueprint to identify trends that can rack up millions of views. But there is a catch to why you will probably fail. First of all, I am going to remind you of the trends that you missed to find out what I am talking about. Let's go back in time to 2022, when Andrew Tate blew up on social media and people started posting his speeches on TikTok. Those who were smart started talking about him on YouTube too. And every small channel that did that started gaining millions of views and subs. And this was just the first phase. The second one was when he opened his university, The Real World. Every person was curious about it, but were not willing to pay to enter. And what did the small channels do? They started posting their experience about the course, and the same cycle happened again and again with Iman Godsi and Sneeko. But this was just with public figures. This can also be found in other topics like Squid Game. The biggest YouTuber even used this. Yeah, Mr. Beast even did this. His highest performing video was about Squid Game. Okay, maybe it was a fluke, right? Nope, I personally experienced this firsthand with a video I made about the World Cup. So with that, let's start with step 1, identifying the trend. Now that TikTok is not just for entertainment anymore, let's start by figuring out if this trending content falls into option A or B, if it's documentary storytelling. Here is a checklist to what you should be looking for. Take a screenshot of it and keep listening, because I am going to explain what each one of them means with examples. For the first one, there are multiple examples such as the World Cup, Squid Game, Andrew Tate, and many more. Everyone started to talk about them at some point, and once that happens, there is definitely an opportunity to get views from it, just like Vox did with the World Cup. As for controversy, it's very simple. Once something becomes viral, there is bound to be controversy about that subject. There are always two sides, those who like that subject and those who hate it. It's up to you to create content around it. For the last part, in my opinion, I think everything can influence someone's life depending on the situation they are in. But what does that have to do with this? Well, if something is influencing your life, you will definitely want to know why. And this involves all niches, even health. Don't believe me? Remember those POV ADHD TikToks? Yeah, some of the big YouTubers in the health niche who recognized this as an opportunity created content about it, and it got a lot of attention. Even Mr. Best knows the value of a hyped trend.
Because I knew that video, everyone was like hyped up and, all eyes would be on it. So I was like, this has to be the best video possible.
For some context about this interview, he was talking about the Squid Game video. Now, let's shift our focus to personal experiences. This doesn't just stick to courses of controversial figures. It can also include your own personal experience, such as going the Sidemen football match, creating Faceless Instagram accounts, or creating day-in-the-life videos. However, being creative in storytelling is crucial, which we are going to delve into in step 3. For now, I'll stick to discussing courses and Faceless Instagram/TikTok accounts. What you should be looking for is whether people are curious about these experiences and to what extent. Additionally, consider whether these stories can guide them from point A to point B. But timing is a key aspect of this formula. Recognizing opportunities early is essential. You want to be here. You don't want to be at the end of this cycle. This applies not only to content creation, but also to life in general. Successful individuals like Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk all share one common trait, and it's that they seize their opportunities at the right time. So with all this in mind, go to Sheets and put your content ideas in this format. What is it about? The type, your position in the trend, similar videos, and how hot is it? But be clever about it, because what you are going to post on YouTube and what you found on TikTok are going to be different. For example, Andrew Tate content on TikTok was just clips of his speeches, but when you watch long-form content on him, it's about his rise to fame or his biography. Next, let's move on to step 2. Can it be viral on YouTube? For that, we need to figure out if people are searching for it and what stage is it in. That's why we're going to use Google Trends first, by just typing the keyword and analyzing the graph. Next, head to VidIQ and search for this keyword again and its matching terms. And this step is crucial because it will help you a lot in creating the title. Plus, it gives a better understanding of the competition and the potential. So ideally, you want to write about topics that are in the green. After that, head to YouTube and search for similar videos or pay attention to the suggested content and analyze how many views small channels are getting from this topic. And if you see that this was the first video they posted and it got about 1K views minimum, then you just hit the jackpot. But check comments and likes too. The last thing you want is to get tricked by people who pay for views. With that out of the way, let's move on to the creative part of this formula, which is execution, and what I mean by that is these three main elements of the video, which are the script, editing, and thumbnail. Now I can't give a detailed version of this because each one needs to have its own video since they are very important, and if you can't get these right then, congratulations.
You played yourself.
So for the script, I'm just going to talk about the hook, which is where most of you will struggle with. And what it needs to have is these three parts, which are context for the thumbnail, stakes/payoff, and curiosity gap. The first 5 seconds are crucial. If it's boring, why should the viewer even bother watching the rest? Don't take it from me, take it from Mr. Best himself.
Bro, I roast the hell out of people who like have boring first 5 seconds. It's brutal.
Essentially, your title and thumbnail set expectations, and at the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop-off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met.
And yes, I choose Mr. Best for retention purposes. You need to show directly what you mentioned in your thumbnail to meet the viewer's expectation. But not only that, but you also need to provide context for the story of this video. Then introduce a juicy reward, which by the way finishes meeting the expectations from the title and thumbnail, followed by a curiosity gap that entices the viewers to stick around until the end, which I hope it worked for this video. The first 20 seconds should exceed the viewer's expectations. And if you don't know what to say, then just type your content idea in VidIQ. But I recommend adding changes to it because their AI is not that perfect. It's just good for brainstorming ideas for your hook if you are stuck. Plus, I am dropping a video about creating engaging scripts if this gets enough attention, so stay tuned for it. But what's even worse than a bad script is a bad edit, because it buries the idea. There are a ton of people sharing a ton of valuable information, but it gets buried because they are not presenting it in the right way, and you are probably one of them, which is why you should be creative in editing. But I am not going to talk about this because I have already dropped a video about it. And for those who are asking for my assets, I am going to drop a 50% discount on Black Friday for my existing pack. But wait, there's more. For those who buy it, will also receive another 50% discount for my new pack that I will release in January 2024 in memory of taking my first step. So basically, you will be saving $250, but it's going to be up for a limited time. And yeah, it's that expensive because I want you to put more effort into editing to earn what you spent. But this pack is not going to make you a better editor if that's what you are expecting. If you are not willing to just do things and get up and actually try, actually work, and stop being lazy and looking for shortcuts, then don't expect anything in return. Even if you don't buy it, I don't mind. But what you can expect is that it's going to help you work faster and learn my way of thinking and creating assets. But you can check it after you know the secrets to creating a thumbnail with high click-through rate like mine. And there is a reason for that. It's because I keep it short and clear. I don't add too many effects and texts. Try to have it bright and have the contrast high so it pops out more. Here is an example of a good thumbnail and a bad one. The point of a thumbnail is to create intrigue or curiosity, as some might say. Just think about it and even check your watch history and think about what made you click on the video, and you should probably have 4 or 5 people give you feedback on it and roast the hell out of it. But what I recommend if you are starting out is to hire a thumbnail designer. And trust me, if you are not great with Photoshop, just don't do it. This is the best advice I would have given to my younger self. But don't worry, with time, you will start to have an eye for it. But if you are truly interested in learning what works, then stay tuned for my next videos.